Good morning, good morning, good morning, Leos. Leos. Or good afternoon, good evening if you're watching this recorded. Who knows when you're watching it? You're watching it when you are meant to be watching it, right? Welcome. So just going to give you a couple really quick announcements. But this is for the week from the 19th to the 25th. Now, I finally got some time to do a little research on the moon. Full moon, of course, is the 23rd of this month. It is a full moon. It is a moon of Aquarius, and it's going to be called the buck moon. If you want to know why it's called the buck moon, you can Google it yourself, or you can see me on the 23rd for that reading. I'm going to be doing a live reading. Here's one of the announcements. I'm trying to get on here much earlier. I'm trying to get on here like around 9:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, because I'm getting swamped and I do not want to cut my viewers out. I love what I do, and divine comes first in my day anyway, and all day, but still first. So just if you are one of these viewers that love to watch me live, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you so much. But I am going to be shooting a little bit earlier, and this may be for quite a while. I'm not quite sure. I will pop on here now and then and do uploads I'm getting downloads, and I've been wanting to just like in the car I'm driving. It's like, oh, I wish I could go on. So I might be doing some uploads. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll see those uploads come up. Okay, so the other announcement is, yes, the decisions and choices video is still out. It is still uploaded, and I gave you the link below because the divine is sure put that out there for a reason. There's a lot of the signs that are making major decisions or needing to wait and put off those decisions and choices, and it has to do with making not so wise choices and why you're doing that and how to change that. So that's there. The other announcement, we got the full moon, we got the early videos. I think that's it. If I remember it, then I will definitely tell you as I go. All right. Hi there. Welcome. I do take questions. If it is something that we're talking about, I will address it. However, if it's not something, because a lot of the times the answer is coming in the reading, but I will take them at the end, only because I don't want to interrupt the reading for people who want to get on with their day. But I do take questions, yes. All right. So let's get started. For those of you that are brand new to my channel, I am going to be picking 3 oracles. They're sort of, or for those of you that are new to tarot, their oracles are sort of like a theme. Many tarot readers do it as like past, present, and future, or current, past, present, and future. Because my channel is divine driven, divine guided, I do it through divine, current energies, and future energies. So pretty much the same. However, the past I don't look into so much. That is a coaching thing, because there's reasons why you're doing what you're doing or making the choices that you're making. But divine wants a card. The card for divine is a message to you directly. I don't know who it's for. He decides what it is. Maybe you're asking a question. Maybe you're on the fence about something. Maybe you're trying to make a decision about something and you've been just asking the universe or divine, I really don't know what to do. You know, are they coming back? I hear that a lot. Are they coming back? That kind of a thing. This is for you. Okay, so this is the Divine's card. Current energy card is for the week of the 19th through the 25th. Now remember, we're coming up to a full moon. So on the 20th, we're going to start having those energies happen. It's Aquarian energy. So I'm not going to go into it right at the moment. If it comes up in the reading, I will. So this is going to be a really powerful week for you guys, for Leos. And then the future card is definitely about pretty much I look at it as the universe is the astrology part. However, the divine and then the astrology almost are exactly the same, just because they're all the same energy. Divine makes or creates our galaxies and our universe, and so those energies, actually, it comes pretty much out the same, or even the same numerology. It's interesting. So many of you know I do mix the intuitive, I ask divine. Like I said, it's divine driven. I am talking to him through this reading through the whole time. So it is divine driven. And he will give me messages, downloads. He'll send whoever through. Sometimes I know who they are. Sometimes I don't, for the wisdom. Okay, so let's get going. That's sort of just a real quick whoop on what I do. All right. So Divine's card that he has chosen for today, or is trying to get the message across today, is protection. And this is the number 38. So 38 turns to 11, 11 turns to 2. So it is about protection of some type of partnership. It is protection of some type of bringing a partnership together or separating it. So there is something going on that maybe needs to be paid attention to, because it's very interesting what the next two cards are about. And we'll figure this out here in our reading and through the downloads. Again, I'm very intuitive. I use more intuitive than I do a lot of the cards. But he really displays a beautiful story when I do the readings. Current energy is the mystery. Okay, so the mystery is about our journey, our path, and everything like that, right? But it's also the number 7. So this is about your potential and where your ambition is. Is it in the right place? Is it going down the right path? Is your ambition? Are you on the right mark as far as potential? Now, potential, we have so many things we can potentially do and be good at, but are you on the right one? That's the mystery, right? So we're going to try to find that out. Future energies. Interesting. Okay, I'm getting some downloads, and hopefully it'll come out in the reading. The future energy is restriction, and that's the number 8. Okay, that is about the process. It is also about rewards too, but this is about the process. This is about the process of knowing what and where your potential is. This protection card, again, with the number 2, we really got to be sure, are we in, for somebody in a relationship, are we with the right partner? Are we potentially with the right partner? Okay, that kind of a thing. Are we potentially in the right job? Are we in the right thing? Are we doing, our hobbies? Are they right? Are they that kind of a thing? This is the mystery. And the mystery, actually, a lot of people say, well, I just don't know. I just don't know. Because you're not listening to divine. Whenever you ask a question, whether you say it's to the universe or to divine or God or Holy Spirit, whoever you call divine, the answer is already given to you. When you ask it, he immediately gives you the answer, but you can't seem to find it because you're a little lost in the connection with him. Okay. Otherwise you would know. Or the thing is, he might have you wait to hear the answer because of his timing, not your timing. All right. So let's get the spread going and see what else has to go. For Leos. All right. So your first card out is an interesting card because this is the card of your heart. Okay, and this is what you're thinking and what you're desiring in your heart. Okay, and what you're feeling. Now, this is probably going to be really important because with the Aquarian full moon coming in, it's going to have a lot to do with emotions. It's going to have some to do with authority because a lot of the times Aquarian energy bucks authority. They don't like authority. They're their own free spirit. They want to do it their own way. And once they get it set in there, boy, okay, this is interesting. Get it set in their mind, they're going to do it. And it could be good, could be, not in the right direction, but they're going to get. And so this Aquarian energy is definitely there. We have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is more of one of the older pages. They're a little bit more matured. Okay. They're a little bit more matured. They're looking at things curiously, but they're also thinking about it. I really would like to do that, or how does that work, or how do they do that? But they're a little bit more mature. Okay, they're very creative. They're very much into design and their dress and everything like that. They begin to pay attention because their maturity level is a little bit higher. All right. All right, so your first card out is the Page of Cups. Boy, this is definitely about your future, guys. They're very much about your future. And what's going to be happening in your current future, but not only your current future, but your um, distance out future. But the thing with that is, do not really put that distant future out in the forefront, because divine can come in and switch something immediately. And it's not to throw you off and go a different direction. It's to test you how serious you are about your future. Your second card out is the Two of Cups. Again, it's about your cups. This is about your heart. This is about what you feel. This is your emotions and how you go. Now, the two again, he's got the number 2 in the original. Now he's got 2, another partnership coming together. This could be a love partnership. This could be a business partnership. This could be a project, a hobby partnership that you're going to come in together. If it's money, be really careful about that. Being a business owner, I totally would say, beep, beep, pay attention, because red flags. Partnerships are hard. In business, partnerships are hard. You have to be on the same page, especially about money and what will happen when we make a lot of money and how it's going to be divided if the one partner wants to go away. Okay, I don't know who that's for. But definitely you've got to know your P's and your cross your T's and dot your I's. And if you're going into business with somebody, this could be for somebody older. This could be for somebody young. Maybe they have an Etsy channel and they're getting too busy and they want to partner with somebody. Get a lawyer. I know it sounds stupid, but get a lawyer. Have some contracts signed up, and if somebody leaves, a non-compete. Okay, I don't know who this is for, but something's going on. This is where the mystery is coming in. Okay, so let's keep going, because that's one energy. That energy is a very short energy, so it's not for everybody, definitely. So third card is the Hermit. And we have next is the Page of Swords. So for somebody, definitely divine is trying to move you forward and pay attention. He's trying to protect whatever it is that you're doing. So you've got to start getting on that same signal path with him, which is your intuition and your gut. That's the first step. Okay, that for anybody as an empath, the first step to really get close to divine is 2 things. Your intuition is paying attention to it and listening to it and following it. The second thing is having faith and trust in that intuition, that it's accurate and right and taking you the right way. Okay, that's the number 1 thing. Because as you know, divine is absolute truth and love. He's never going to do something to harm or make something destructive. Now, I'm going to say this is in a relationship. If there's mystery in a relationship, if there is confusion in a relationship, if this is something for somebody that is confused, he's trying to protect you, because if there is confusion of any type in a relationship, that's low vibration, that's low energies, that's not of divine. That is low vibrations trying to mess things up, try to get you off track so you don't get that person that you really should have that doesn't create confusion but creates love, because that's divine. Okay. All right. So, excuse me. The Hermit is basically looking at everything, paying attention. He's facing these 2. He's facing these 2 and he's looking at them and saying, I got to watch over this. There's something going on that I got to make sure that all the ducks are in a row, that everything is going to be going okay and smoothly, because we've got the future energy of restriction. Restriction could be you holding yourself back. It could be you or somebody trying to sabotage. It could be a distraction to stop you from doing something, a restriction. It could be an unhealthy boundary, a toxic situation that is stopping something. It could also be a restriction for good. So when we do a healthy boundary, we have restrictions and boundaries around us. And this is for some energy. I don't know what that is. He's saying, this is a new energy. But the thing is, these healthy boundaries are actually something we have to do to restrict, to keep the low vibrations out, the toxicity, the people that don't want to support you, the people that are all out to just use you. see the good in you and use you. This is where the intuition comes in so that you're not being used. God, can you tell me? Can you have me feel if this is right? And if your gut says they're using you or don't go there, that's what you got to listen to. But somebody here is really focusing in on the past. It's like you're, again, maybe you're restricting yourself because you're sort of stuck. And sometimes divine throws in his protection. So a lot of okay, I'm hearing somebody say, well, why didn't things turn out? Why didn't they happen for me and they happened for them? Why did they get that position? Why didn't I? I have a lot more skills and experience. Why did they get the job? Why? We start asking this question of why did somebody get it, or why didn't I, or why did somebody get it and I didn't? Or why did somebody, blah, 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 blah. Why, right? That's your mystery. However, the thing is, one of the things is when we start looking at that, we're looking at it in the wrong way. Your current energy is to look at it and say, thank you. This came up in another reading. I don't know what it was. Because a lot of the times when we don't get what we want, we sit there and do this. Why didn't I get it? We throw a tantrum because we're human. It's what we want. But divine says, I'm giving you what you need, not what you want. So somebody keeps going to the past and comparing what is happening now to their past. And it might have to do with somebody. Why did they get married? Why does everybody else get married? Why does everybody have a relationship and I don't? I'm still single, blah, 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 getting older, blah, 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 and why are they? Because this is your center card. Okay, this is the truth card. Somebody keeps looking backwards rather than forwards. And the rest of the cards on your spread are forward movement. But there is, again, somebody with this low vibration that keeps stirring the pot and just keep, it's almost like a Cancerian energy where you're very moody. It's like one day you're good. Oh, okay, things are going to go one way, but why does this have to happen? Why, oh my gosh, I'm just tired of doing this. I'm tired of working. I'm tired of, and then the next day it's like, yeah, it's okay. We're going to make it. We're going to be good. It's sort of that energy coming up because here's the 3 cards that are next. And it's a very serious energy because this is what's sort of holding you back. So we have the Page of Wands, 9 of Wands, and then we have the 2 again of Wands. We've got 3 number 2s in here. So that is huge. In this month here, you're going to see a lot of double numbers. You're going to see a lot of triple numbers. It's happening because of the way that the universe is moving, the planets are moving and everything like that. But you are going to see a lot of emotions. And this is the number 2. Something is either coming together or the divine is protecting you and keeping it apart. I don't know what it is for you that's trying to come together, but this is all about your mindset and your process and where it's at. So some of you are in such a worldly mind process, which means you're in the human world, the first dimension, that you cannot see that the second dimension is trying to give you, because we are still in the waxing moon until the 23rd. Waxing moon means abundance coming to you. Okay. But a lot of the times our abundance doesn't come to us because we are our own we're not an own bad luck. We are our own, what do you call that? Sabotage ourselves. Put it that way. Sabotage ourselves. Okay, so the divine, I'm trying to figure out what, I'll get clarification on this protection thing. However, right now, this is definitely about your future. There is something creative, definitely something creative, because if you look at other tarots, this could be a past energy, and this is something that's very creative about you, but it is also a maturing creative. It is also something that we need to look forward with in that sense, but it is also bringing a partnership. But it's got to get the ducks in the row. Definitely thinking about the future. Definitely looking at, again, the creative side, paying attention to what's going on, thinking about but don't overthink it. Okay, don't overthink it. These 2 energies together, it's like good, overthinking, thinking of the past, good, overthinking, thinking of the past, good, and it's like this roller coaster that you're on. So looking at the past, comparing things doesn't work. The 9 of Wands is about like you're in the middle of something, or you have gone through something. Now you have some battle wounds, or you're getting battle wounds. So like when you go through a breakup, okay, you might be in the middle of a breakup. You might be in the middle of losing your job. You might be in the middle of quitting school or going to school or whatever it is, but the battle wounds you get are lessons. They're not meant to be carried in suitcases with you as you go. It's like, okay, what did I learn from that? What are the pros of what I learned, and what are the cons that I learned? And I want to take the pros with me because that's higher vibrational. Okay, I learned that, let me give a hypothetical. If I'm breaking up and they left me, okay, it's not about me that they left. It might be partly me, but I have to look at it because this is really big, especially with women. When I'm doing coaching, a lot of the women will say, what did I do wrong? Or what didn't I do? No, you have to look at the other person. This is something why they left. Number one, their communication sucks. So did you communicate what you needed and what you had to have to show love? You sort of have to look at what it is on the pros. They didn't communicate, so how could I get what I needed? Or the communication. So you have to look at the pros of what it was. I'm a good person. I treated them with respect. I treated them with love. I treated them with compassion and kindness and da 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 da. You look at the pros and take that with you. And the lesson. Now, divine, again, a lot of the times separates because he's trying to protect you. One, the relationship was manipulated and it shouldn't have even started, or it was a situationship that should have never been to bring them together, or it could be something not of divine connection and again manipulated to be together. And the divine says, this is not what I want for you. I want better for you. I want what you are going to feel completely loved unconditionally. So I'm going to separate this. So you got to realize some of these wounds and scars and things that you're carrying with you, you got to look at the lesson that it was, okay? And you see the scar or on your heart, your scar on your heart, and you move on because now you've learned something so you can teach somebody else. These are red flags to look for. Why aren't you going over to their house? When you're dating and the guy or the girl always wants to come to your house. Well, let's go to your house. No, the house is a mess. Oh, no, my roommate's there. Oh, no, da 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 da. No, da 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 da. So then that's a red flag. Why can't you go over to their house? Are they married? Are they in a long-term relationship with somebody? Don't know. Okay. So you got to sort of look at these things. Take your wounds, but don't take the baggage with you. You got to take the wounds and learn the lessons and leave the baggage behind you, because that's what you're doing. For somebody, that's what you're doing. Okay, and then we have the future energies. This is your challenge card. If somebody's thinking way too much of the future, they're not thinking of now. You're thinking way too much of the future, and you have to look sort of what's happening now. And that's going to take the mystery out of things, because if you look at now and not worry about the future, but if, you got to remove the ifs, because the ifs hypothetically may never happen. Okay, they hypothetically may never ever happen. Why is there somebody at my door at this time of the day? Anyway, so definitely have to look at this. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to get some clarification on this protection before. So just so you guys know, before I even say it, I've already thought it. Divine's already sharing. Is that the only thing for the protection? Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Beautiful card. That's supposed to come up. That's actually supposed to come up. That's what's supposed to be happening. reality. Okay, so he is saying it's protection for not only things, but again, for your future of what's to come. So be mindful of your future, be mindful of, what you need to do now. It's sort of like when people move in together, they don't talk about the finances, they don't talk about anything. When you move in together, are you moving in together just to move in together? To be separate entities in one home? You could be roommates, but then if you're a couple, you're not united in a commitment marriage kind of a thing. So are you guys keeping your money separate? Are you keeping some house money and then everybody else's money separate? This is what it's talking about, because in all reality, when divine brings a union of two people together, it's a soul tie. Once you have intimacy, I'll say it nicely because YouTube doesn't like the S word, but once you get intimate, then it actually binds a soul tie. And when you bind that soul tie, that becomes a union. And you know what? When we say marriage in the world, when we say paper, that's for government. But when we actually get intimate, that is a soul tie. That is a union. That's a marriage. In a lot of cultures, that is marriage. And so when you put that unity together, if you're keeping things separate, it doesn't work that way. It creates a low vibration later on, because you're going to fight about it. What are the two things that people fight about the most before they get divorced? Intimacy or money. So this is something that's going to have to be talked about. We've got the Page of Pentacles. This means that somebody is immature about possibly their spending. They overspend what they have. This was in another reading. They overspend what they actually bring in, or maybe they don't have enough and they still spend. And it's like your priorities are backwards. So when I was homeless, I went from homeless to being a business owner in 1 year. When I was homeless, I was like, okay, I have to buy out of needs, not wants. That was a big thing for me because my priorities were backwards. And that's why I was probably homeless, because of the poor choices and the decisions. And probably another reason why Divine had me do that video with the link below, because somebody's priorities are backwards. But the thing was, I had to buy out of needs, not wants. And every time I went to hold something to buy it, I said, is this a need or a want? I know it sounds ridiculous, but boy, it will save your life when it comes to finances for a while, until you don't have to do that anymore. But it definitely helps you, because somebody's definitely struggling with this. Okay, so when you're bringing this partnership together, whether it's love or business or school or whatever, and money's involved, you definitely have to communicate, because there is a stress about that. There's definitely a stress about that. And with this partnership, somebody's not on the same page, because we have the Five of Pentacles, and Pentacles again are about money, and it's just like it's off a little bit. Now with the Five of Pentacles, could be that somebody could have an injury and that you're putting money out. I don't think it's that at all. I think that somebody's sort of feeling left out, like I'm always giving, or I'm always the one putting the money in. So but you got to look at things. Is a relationship, somebody usually one partner, usually the male, brings in more money. Usually, not always. Trust me, I was the one that brought in more money. But the thing is that they bring in more money. And then the other partner is usually, we say in business, sweat equity. So you do the work, you do the house, you do whatever needs to be done, you take care of all this kind of stuff, or the kids or whatever, and that's sweat equity. So you have two people investing in different ways into one thing, but somebody's not looking at it that way, and they're sort of feeling left out. Don't feel left out. This is for your future. Whatever this is for your future. And you got to really look at it, because you got the Hermit right now. This is for your future. So you got to look at it deeply and say, can I do this or be with this person, if it's a person, or do this job or do this for the rest of my life? Can I be with them for the rest of my life? Can I see them? Can you envision it? Can I do this job or career for the rest of my life? If that inkling of is there, then you really need to go back and reevaluate. And this is where Divine's protecting you. He's trying to wake you up and say, hey, the mystery is because you're not in a place that you should be, and you're a little lost. Ha. He's good. He is good. So the only thing that you should be, the only thing that you should be doing with this challenge card, for somebody, they're really too focused on everything. I'm gonna do this and this and this, and at the end of the road, my future is gonna be this. See, that's your challenge, is that you say, okay, I got a goal of this. Not sure how I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna sort of plan, but if there's something that comes in the center that throws me off course, then I've got to be flexible to be able to do that. When you try to map something out into the future, yeah, first year, 5 years, 10 years, you always should have a goal. But the thing is that you have a goal, but you're like, okay, this is what I want to obtain. This is my idea of what I want to obtain. Like if you're in business, okay, I want $1 million in my company should be making $1 million in 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is. And then you're like, okay, so you have your goals for each day, how much you're supposed to make each week, each month, each year. But if that doesn't happen, then you have to step it up. And if it doesn't happen again, you might have to reevaluate. Something's not working. This is the same with life. If something's not working, you got to reevaluate it. If you keep picking the wrong guy or the wrong girl, it's time to reevaluate. Why? Go look at decisions and choices videos. That's not me. That's divine. Okay, so devil card. Something definitely doesn't keep you bound. I know what it is. It's your past. You keep thinking about it. You keep comparing. You keep, looking back there and saying, well, a very it's very pessimistic. Needs to be more optimistic. Look at it, but it also too, you got to let go. I don't know how many times divine says let go, because you got 3 number 2s here. You got a 9, but the biggest 9 is this, licking your wounds and still carrying them with you. Well, I've done this, and this was this, and that was that, and yeah, okay, yep, you're under a different name, no problem. We can hang on, guys. I got a troll. Okay, I've got somebody that keeps coming back in, and they don't understand, which is sad. They don't understand what I'm doing. They're very religious. They don't have a relationship with God. They don't have a relationship with divine, because they don't understand a clue what I'm doing. So anyway, something's keeping you bound. So, and I would say it's your past. You got to stop letting go of thinking about the past. You got to start thinking about the future. It's like when you drive a car and you pay attention to the front window because it's so big and you got a lot to see out that way. But if you were to drive the car through that back window, it's very tiny. And it's tiny for a reason, because we don't need to keep looking out the back window. We go forward into the future window. Wow, we are in. Okay, last card though is the 3 of Cups. Again, we're talking about your heart and everything. It's going to turn out fine. It is going to turn out fine. You're just going to have to evaluate yourself a little bit. And the thing you're going to evaluate yourself is stop looking at the past. Okay, and pay attention more towards what's going on now in the future. You're going to look at the pros. Okay, you're going to look at all that. You're going to look at, and the cons are, okay, you got to look at the pros and cons in something. And if the cons outweigh the pros, then what you do is go by it. You use your hermit and analyze, should I be doing this or should I not be doing this? Okay. So I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to ask Divine to show us if there's any relation. If this is a love relationship, let's see. I'm going to just say, if it is a love relationship, let's see what he's got to say about that, Divine. And then I'm going to let you guys go. Because I don't think Papu is still here. You could ask your question, but I don't think I think, people just want a free reading right out of the chute and don't think of other people. This is, I don't mind doing that at all, but be patient. Be patient. And if you don't want to be patient, then they log off. All right, so we've got Gaia's garden. So fruition, abundance, reaping what you sow. And it's the number 9. So whatever this partnership of, I don't know if this is a love partnership or not, but this is about reaping what you sow. So if you're going to complain and think about your past and tell everybody about your wounds, it's sort of like us boomers when we were little. Our parents used to say, well, when I grew up, we can't do that because the generations are so different. My generation that I'm in now, I'm a boomer now, and my daughter's like, it's not the same as when you grew up. And I'm like, no, it is not. So I cannot say when I grew up, it was very, very different. And the stresses weren't as high as what they are for the young youth and even the 20s and 30s now. Yeah, they have it a lot. They have a different hard. They have a different hard. We had the physical hard because we didn't have the telephones. We didn't have all the technology. We had to go out and play. We had to be creative in our minds what to do. We had to do that kind of stuff. Now technology makes it easy in certain areas for everybody. So it's a very different stress. It's not bad or good or anything. It's just different. There was stress back then. There's stress now. I'd say there's more stress now because of the technology. I'd say there's more stress now because of the emotions that it can really affect, because we have a higher suicide rate with our young people. Oh my gosh, this kills me. And it's all due to social media and all this stuff. And the what the kids put on these kids. Oh, kids can be cruel. There's bullying. There was even bullying in the last company I worked for adults. And this woman must have been a bully as a kid, but the girl that actually was working under her had to take it because she's an elder, and she's like, I can't go get another job. It's too hard. And so she had to take the bullying. I said, no, you don't. I went to the labor board. So anyway, this relationship here, this whatever it is, be bold and make the first move. Okay, so if you're coming into a new relationship, reaping what you sow. If you want love, be love. Thank you. So they're saying be a mirror. Be a mirror. So if you love somebody or want somebody, be what that person wants. Be a mirror to them, and then that will create a bigger bond for you, a deeper bond. And abundance and fruition, it's happening. This is something happening in your future, and the abundance is definitely the waxing moon. So be what you want. Be the mirror of somebody else of what they need. Find out their perspective. And this is really cool because it not only will bond you guys closer together, but it will also make you understand each other. No fights, no arguments. How wonderful would that be? You find the other person's perspective first because you already know your perspective, and find out what it is that they need, they want, they desire, their goals, their passions, their pet peeves, their triggers, their buttons, and you will have a much more loving, bonding relationship than just saying, well, I need this. I'm not getting this. I. And then what happens is that person finds out your perspective and then becomes a selfless love rather than a selfish love. And that's what I'm all going to say. But make bold move. Find out what their perspectives are first. Ask them. That's a lot of fun. It's actually a good, fun conversation. And it's also a good tool to work on. All right. So don't be bound to the past. Don't be bound to your wounds. Don't start comparing. Let these things go, because that's one of the big things that they're looking at. And oops, sorry about that. So you want to let those things go. All right. When we hold on to the past too much, we can't move to the future. Can't have both. Just can't. It doesn't work that way. It's like when we have a death, we have a rebirth. When we close one door, we open another door. Okay. When something's let go, something comes in. All right. Kind of a thing. All right, you guys, this is your reading. Sorry it took so long. There's no questions. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Don't forget about the full moon. That is on the 23rd. I will be doing a reading that day. Probably is going to be earlier just because of my time schedule right now. I am so backed up with leather work, it's not even funny. Um, and definitely have a wonderful, wonderful week. Now these energies are going to start coming in. Aquarian energies are going to start coming in, emotions and things. And actually, it might be a little bit lighter feeling, but it's going to be more of a powerful feeling. It might be you're trying to buck authority a little bit. That might be coming in. Don't start pissing your boss off or your teachers off. You need that good grade, guys, if you're going to school. And I hope you guys have a great, great week. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I really, really appreciate when you guys do that. It really helps out my channel, and YouTube can see that. I greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the bell if you subscribe so that you can see the uploads coming up, and know when my I have to post the thumbnail. I haven't done it yet for the full moon, so you'll know when that comes up. So don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Likes are really important to YouTube, so I don't know. Hit that, smash that like button if you can. All right, take care, you guys. We'll see you next week on the 26th. All right, take care. Well, and the 23rd for the full moon.